Hello there, and welcome back to Sunlust. Today, it's time to beat Map24, which I have already done, which is why we're watching back a demo. However, I'm not alone today. We're experimenting, and I have Kinetic with me.
Hello, glad to be here.
Well, some of you might know about...
Nice dodge.
Oh, thank you. A few years ago, there was a detour of Sunlust in under 3 hours, so Kinetic is here to bring us some insight into detouring this map as opposed to the run here today, which is just single segment on the individual level. So, for this first section, you can basically control all of these fights by doing them individually. If you can get one of the archviles stuck in there, it'll just get into a loop of just fighting these chain gunners and resurrecting them. At which point you can kill the other one, and then kill it, like I am doing now. Does this change at all in, like, the detour?
Nah, because entering this map, you have a bunch of cells, and it's just easiest, but more importantly fast. It's just a waste of vials of BFG.
Okay. Well, this next section, if you just stick behind here, you can pretty much control everything as long as you just maneuver around the revenants and kill this archvile.
Yeah, that's pretty D12 too. Well, pretty much just BFG that floor vial immediately. Like 2 shots usually penetrates. First shot penetrates to the horde, the second gets the vial. It's a very dangerous vial to keep alive.
When do you get the BFG? Oh yeah, can you survive map 20? Can you break through that?
Yeah, with the invuln you can skip the death exit.
So you keep everything then?
Yeah.
Do you get a BFG in just like map 23, 21 at all?
Maybe in 23 is a secret. I can't really remember. But it's pretty easy to preserve cells to use for this beginning area. But it looks like you did pretty well in this demo. You got both files dead pretty quickly. Got control of the fight.
In practice, I found this consistent the way I'm doing it now.
Yeah, it's one of the rougher beginnings to a map in the set, but you definitely can do it consistently. It's really just all about wrangling those vials ASAP and avoiding getting trapped. Once the vials go down, you should be completely fine if you don't mess up really badly.
Would you say this is the hardest fight of the map? I'd say it's between this and one other, which we'll get to later.
I definitely wouldn't say it's hardest, especially in the D2 context. It's definitely not.
Is the hardest in the D2? Well, we'll get to it later. Talk about it when it comes. But I'd imagine it's probably the Vial fight because just more possibility it can go wrong.
Yeah. These Hell Knights remind me of the Doom 3 Hell Knights with the color of the projectiles.
Well, that's what a palette swap does.
Yeah.
I
do remember.
You were saying?
Sorry, go ahead. I was just saying that I do remember cleanup is definitely a little bit lengthy in this fight, especially if you don't have an abundance of rockets and cells as you would coming in for previous maps. So you don't get a ton of ammo to splurge too much here, and infighting isn't too crazy usually. So you end up having to do something like this, chain gunning the Mank to save ammo. Oh, but there's a cell pack, but I guess you're saving it for later.
Well, I want to go into the next part with a lot of cells because of the other sections of this map.
Yeah.
The next area is
Understandable.
pretty cramped. But yeah, this area can be done reasonably well. And now you gotta run for the door. At which
I always
point
thought that was interesting.
you like being able to run for the door.
Nah, just the way to get out of that area. It's always kind of a bit weird. You have to hit a switch and then run to bars on the other side. I just find that interesting.
Well, it's a good way to control the ability of the player to do it during the fights. Also, this fight, this is what I wanted that plasma for, because there are a lot of things in the way at close range, and I'd like those things to be gone, so this is the way to deal with that.
Yep, cells is definitely the way to go here. You can't really survive with rockets unless you're really lucky somehow, or SSG. It's definitely plasma, cell only, cell weapon only encounter. Either BFG if you have it, D12, or plasma and the IL.
I imagine you just BFG Barons if they get close and like the
Yeah.
D2 wall.
Well, the D12, you just rush for the switch as soon as possible because that's the fastest thing. Just to release everything and then run past the cyber and teleport so they can all infight. But same idea, you want... I mean, I use a couple BFG shots there. It's overkill, but you have to if you want it consistent.
This area right here can sometimes be annoying if things don't go your way.
Yeah, the vial can teleport, you know, either up the stairs, I think, or in that spot. Usually it picks that teleport destination spot, but it adds variability to what can occur here.
I usually like stay out in the open for a bit so that I can keep the vial from like not moving. I'm trying to make it move basically so that it gets teleported.
Yeah, it's definitely the right call.
This area is kind of awkward right here though.
Yeah, kind of just need the cyber to move out of the way or infight so you can slip past.
Do you let this thing infight in the D12 or do you just kill it?
Let it infight as much as possible, and but yeah, I keep it alive. I use it for the imps in the next section. Actually, that's incorrect because there's another cyber in the next section. Yeah, I just kill this guy because there's no reason to have 2 cybers alive for the next part.
That is what I do too, I think. It's been a while since I did this run, but I'm pretty sure that's how I dealt with this. And it looks like I was right.
Yeah, and this is probably the easiest part of the map, or sort of the softer undersection of it. Just some imps and a cyber, normal Sunlust stuff.
This can get a bit dodgy if the cyber goes a bit to the left and behind this thing. Then you have to push your way out of the imps, but that doesn't happen often, and with how things are situated right now, that won't be an issue.
Yeah, the strategy remains the same. Just pretty much get the cyber sort of mixed in with the imps, and it's not that hard. If he ever did come around and sort of trap you, it might be best to just rocket through the imps, since the rockets just are so devastating when it comes to punching a hole through an imp, or through the imps. But yeah, good position here. The encounter is 1.
Did nearly get hit by a rocket though.
I'm interested in seeing if you take the red key path or the yellow key path first. I think I always went for the red path first just because I think it's harder, and I always prefer to do harder sections for easier ones.
I always prioritize early death to later death.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's just smart.
It means that
Really
if
good.
I die, then I have less time until I get back to where I was.
Yeah. It looks like you're fortunate enough to save Mega Armor and Blue Supercharged, which comes in handy, especially for the red key section where you honestly do not get that much health and armor for the amount of sort of Lost Souls hit scan and huge damage you can take.
This area right here is very good at destroying all of your health.
Yeah.
It's because it has the worst enemy in Doom, shotgunners.
Yep. Some shotgunners and Lost Souls. I'll do the trick. This is like an encounter that I feel like isn't lethal, but it always, you pay a heavy damage tax or health tax every single time.
This is a drain encounter.
Yeah. It softens you up for the next encounter, which is a lot lethal than this one.
Danny talked about in his level design making encounters for different purposes, like choosing to do like different types of encounters in different situations. He referred to encounters where he wants the player to spend a lot of ammo as drain encounters. The same with like health drain, like you specify them differently. But
Yeah.
I can't remember where I read this. I think it
It's
might be in the
interesting.
Sunlust thread.
It's an interesting approach to fight design.
Well, it's about
I don't think I've
pacing.
done. Yeah, I don't think I've done too much of that myself.
Do you
But,
just design to kill?
um, yeah, usually, because usually I try and make either really hard maps or I guess now some easier maps that have yet to be released, but I never really thought about it that way, so that's interesting. I'll keep that in the back of my mind.
Me forgetting
BFG
where it is. Oh, you mean
Sorry.
the debating of the BFG?
Yeah, it's another nice quirk of the map. I would just keeps teleporting away from me. They did that a little bit in map 7 as well. Anyways, this fight was one of the hardest when I first played Sunlust. I just thought it was impossible. The configuration of the enemies when I first ran into it, I wasn't the most experienced player at that time with hard maps.
To me, this fight is just a 50-50 coin flip. Because, well, it's not like 50-50 whether I die. It's more like 50-50 whether I get zapped a bunch and have to cope with that. I guess it also depends on the cyber's position, because you have to kill the vials quickly, so
Yeah,
it can be hard to deal with. If you're
the main
wondering,
viable strat. Sorry, go ahead.
if you're wondering why this is 2 attempts instead of 1, it's because I got unlucky here before and got triple zapped.
Yeah, damn. That's like probably the biggest danger of the fight, because in a lot of fights, usually you're just liable to get zapped once, and that sucks. But in this one, it has that cascade effect where you're hiding, but if you get zapped once, now you're blowing it out of cover. You can get targeted again, there's nowhere to hide. It's just such a lethal encounter. But it's really just all about clearing one side, and then to clear one side, the first step is always killing that first file. So once you get the foothold, it's a lot easier to work with.
Indeed it
It looks
is.
like it went really smooth here.
Honestly, it might have not been a triple vial, but I don't remember. It was either like I got blasted by a bunch of vials, or I got blasted into a rocket. It was one of those two.
Oh, brutal.
But fortunately, the second time, it did not happen, as you can see.
Yes.
It's now just cleanup.
Yep.
I imagine that in the D12 this is easier because you can just BFG instead of rockets.
Yeah, but it's starting to get long enough from then that I can't remember exactly how I use the cells, but I do remember I grab all the cells right before I leave this area. Probably go down to 200 cells, then pick up all 4 packs and then leave. So you can do a decent amount of BFGing here, but it's still a lot of rocketing. The cells isn't super abundant. Have to lean on the rocket launcher a lot.
I mean, the only thing I'd BFG is like those 3 vials on one side. Don't really need it for anything else to like confirm success.
Yeah.
In here, I don't really think you would need BFG at all unless you want to clear out the pinkies quickly. Also, totally just like walked into a rockets.
Yeah. Can't dodge every single one, I guess.
Well, I think I was surprised by the fact that it was lower in elevation. Didn't expect it. Because I was going down the stairs, but the rocket that hit me was fired when I was down the stairs and I didn't anticipate it. But my strategy for this fight is to go around a couple times until I can get behind them and then take out the snipers from back here and try not to get like massive rev damage like that. Was that an 80?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention, but probably every single revenant feels like an 80.
Well, it just like made my screen flash red like all the way. So it was probably.
I always thought this area was a lot easier than the other one. Kind of weird.
I think it's easier, but you have way more chances to die. Because of how awkward it is.
I guess it's real trivial on the D12 though. It's just like 2-shot the sliver and then it's like 4 or 5 BFG shots to the pinkies and it's basically done.
BFG carries in this map in the D12.
Yeah, carries on a lot of maps.
Well, I mean, it's called the BFG for a reason.
Very true indeed.
Also, faked out again with the BFG teleport.
Yeah. This is another vial that just BFG ASAP.
I don't know what I'm looking for. Oh, cells, probably.
Yeah, definitely want some cells for the vials in the next area.
I always forget where that secret is.
Maybe a little bit tricky. Did you know about the exploit where you can hit the switch mid-air while jumping down to it to save you some infill time?
Well, I had a better thing where I land on the switch, hit it from on top of it.
Yeah, that's also pretty good.
I didn't do that this time because I didn't feel it was necessary. Because I'm not like rushing the vials super much. Might want to speed up this part because it's not very interesting.
It's an iconic set piece of the map though. Just all those files and everything just clumped up together, blocking the teleporter.
It's very visually striking as a concept.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's got all those fancy lights inside there as well.
Yep, Sunlust and its light sequences.
I really like light sequences. Although some people seem to be getting tired of them.
There's just like certain ones that aren't my favorite anymore.
Any specifics?
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to explain. Maybe talk about another time. But this fight is such a great piece in the WAD to spit out hundreds, over 1,000. Oh well, not, yeah, over 1,000, over 1,000 monsters. It's definitely the hugest bloodletting of the entire WAD until like map 28 or 30 or something like that. Just so many monsters.
This arena also is a very comfy one.
Yeah, it feels like you're at the edge of like some sort of cosmic event or explosion, which is cool. A new dawn of whatever.
The night sky kind of looks like what will happen when Andromeda and the Milky Way collide, but blue in this case instead of green.
Pretty cool to live in the Milky Way. Just the Andromeda galaxy colliding with ours.
That's like in multiple billions of years. Who knows what'll
like
happen then?
Like 4 billion or 2 billion or something.
I don't remember, but all of the water on Earth will have dried up by that point, and the sun will have become a red giant.
Fantastic.
From what I remember, the surface...
That was close.
Oh. Yeah, it's... I mean, 62 is fine in here. Just like, play slightly cautiously and you're fine.
True. Obviously, you get to dump all the ammo available here. And the D2 obviously try and save ammo for the next map. Try and pocket like at least 80 rockets, 600 cells. Or 580 actually. You can get a backpack at the start of the map. 25. Or maybe 560 out. But
is
the pressure doesn't really do shit.
Is this map faster than the IL and the D12? I'd assume.
So, no.
Oh, it's not?
Nah, just because so many fights just kind of rely on infighting, or well, this I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not infighting. I don't know. I think Vilo's record on this map in the IL, he's just a really good player, so it's hard to beat the IL in D12 time. But yeah, once you get the, because you got the Mega, and obviously it's pretty much one now to Circle Strafe, but until then, you had like 60 health, 160 health. Playing without armor is pretty scary. I'll take this one Revenant Missile just to ruin your day.
This fight is very dangerous if you're not paying attention. Which I think I wasn't when that happened, but then I started paying attention.
Oh, well. Good thing you started paying attention, I guess. I mean, where's the last enemy at?
That is the question.
There you go. Just hiding on the lift. Epic ending. Alright, GG.
So, that is this map. Anything to say on the demo or the map? Or yours?
Nah. That was a good demo. I mean, for the most part, most things went pretty clean. It's model, casual run of the map. All good strategies. All seem to work out pretty consistently. Given only took 2 attempts. Yeah, fairly skilled play. Good map, good demo. And good time co-commentating with you.
Yay, praise. Thank you. Well,
no problem.
It's time for this to end, but since you've made it this far in the video, subscribe, because either you've fallen asleep or you find us interesting. One of the two. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Jinx.